I don't know if there's ever been a more fitting place to do a version of this show than the War Room. And today, it is time for Flock University live from the War Room, 42 Eagle Street in Albany. It is the head coach, the general manager, the man, the myth, the legend. He does it all. I think you designed that shirt, right? You're actually fashion designer extraordinaire. It is Mr. Damon Ware. How you doing, sir?
Busy. It has been a long couple of weeks, but we're super excited to be here and share some news with our flock.
Absolutely. I look over and I see you can't see the goat, but the goat is here. He is he's looking over the menu. He is going to make sure that there's some good goat food on it for the War Room. I see flock support is here. I also see the defensive coordinator, the only man to ever traded an island for a job. It is Hollis Island. How you doing, buddy? He's like, I can't hear you. I don't want to talk to you. And I am the team president, the man who gets a warm welcome wherever I go, Jeff Levack. Thank you. That's all. I'm glad they got it. I was afraid they were going to be nice to me for a change. I wouldn't know what to do with myself.
Exactly.
Live from the War Room, and this is my first time here. I love it. It's a nice place. It's cool. I didn't realize how close it was to the arena.
There's so much history here. If you go through all the levels and even his spot next door, it is just phenomenal with all the history and all the huge names that have been around here. So very cool thing. He gave us a tour. It was very cool.
Yeah, we're a little high up. I'm gonna have to curb the drinking tonight. I'll go skiing down the stairs. It'll be rough for me if I don't do it just right here today at the War Room. Definitely a place you want to check out. Come through for lunch, dinner, a couple drinks, maybe have some fun. It's definitely a very cool place, and we're up here on the third floor. So if you're on your way to Flock University, you know where to find us. Let's talk about flock support right off the rip. I see Steve is here. Have you, Coach, in all your years of doing this, have you ever had the adopt a player program where they drop off 30 bags of goodies to take care of everybody on the team?
I have not, but it's a super cool thing to see. These guys leave their homes and or their parents' house or wherever they are that they live, and they come and they spend a good portion of their time, obviously, in a new place. And so, obviously, it's tough being on the road, but anything you can do to help them have a better time or give them something just to show them some support, I'm all for it. And the flock support is doing a great job of providing some of that for them. And with all the bags, I saw the bags in the office today, and it's a really cool thing. And I'm happy to have the flock support be a part of everything that we do.
See, that's like this is why I love Coach Ware, Coach Hollis, because Steve, who was the head of flock support, Father Flocker, I think is what we'll be calling him. He hit me up yesterday. He goes, "Hey, what do you want to do? How do you want to do this?" I'm like, listen, let's get it. Let's go right to the hotel. Let's give it to the guys. Let's go to where to stay. And he goes, "Okay, no problem." Like 20 minutes later, I look up. Thanks to Coach Hollis, we were able to deliver all the stuff right to the office. I'm like, okay, all right, here we go.
Hey, let's go. Go team.
Yeah, I mean, and it's Steve takes the initiative. He does all this great stuff. He works really hard. So does Denise and everybody else in flock support. It is just getting started. However, you can join flock support, be a part of helping out. We are working on benefit packages for everybody as we go. So just know that it will be reciprocal. We will take care of flock support. We'll support you for supporting us. We really, really appreciate it. The guys deserve it. I keep trying to watch our players coach, and them because you've either scouted them, you've coached them, coached and scouted them, whatever. I'm trying to find the ones who have never seen anything like this before and appreciate it. And then I'm trying to see the ones who are like, oh, this is how it is. And just I want to walk up and whisper to each one. I'm like, Albany's different. Albany's different. Don't go taking off to some whatever team in the middle of nowhere and think that you're going to get flock support. Like you're not. That's the truth.
This is a special place, and we've built a great culture. Great football team, great environment for guys that come to the Capital Region. So we're super excited, and having flock support just adds to that, just advantages of being here in the Capital Region. And we hope that you look into us in the future.
Absolutely. All right, let's get into the other news. So since last we spoke here on Flock University, a little bit of a football game broke out over at MVP Arena. Nashville Cats came to town, thought they were the Cats meow, shall we say, and the Birds took them down 51-41. Coach, this is a game that it there were moments of dominance, there were moments of confusion for me, and then just moments of dominance again. Take us through, like, when you look at the film for the Firebirds versus the Cats, what do you see?
I don't know. It started obviously in the first couple of weeks. I'd say probably right after the first week. If you looked at all the media that was talking about Nashville after their first game, it was they were the latest greatest thing since sliced bread, and not to say that annoyed me a little bit, but we have built something special here over several years. I mean, since 2018, this has been a very dominant franchise, and so it was odd seeing everybody jumping on the Nashville bandwagon. And so, not that it gave us any more motivation than we already have, it was just awkward. And so we wanted to invite them into our house and show them the hospitality that we show a lot of our opponents. And so that was interesting, having Jeff Fisher come in and having some pregame meetings with him, and all the hoopla that they brought. All that was exciting, but ultimately there was a football game to be played, and ultimately we were able to get the win and show them that Albany's a team that's always going to be at the top. And but the game was exciting. I thought, other than a couple mistakes late in the second quarter, we dominated that game from start to finish. That's a good football team, and I don't want anybody to give them any bulletin board material. That was a good football team. Their defensive line was special. They did some good things. Obviously, they had a very good receiver that did some good things over the course of the night. But ultimately, again, we have a really good football team here in the Capital Region, and I want the world to understand that I really do believe that the championship goes through Albany, and anybody that doesn't think that, again, I will have to check your eyeglass prescription, because what are you watching that I'm not seeing?
I had a weird moment over the weekend. I saw somebody had ranked all the arena and indoor teams and everything across the country, regardless of league, and we weren't in the top 10. And I thought to myself, I was like, do they not own a computer? Do they not know how to watch us? Do they not know what this team has done, what this fan base is? And I thought about it for a second, and I realized something. You're too honest, too nice, too professional of a guy. I might have to go full wrestling heel mode, because I think the only difference realistically is no one's telling them how great we are all the time, and we are that damn good. And it is that, like, it's impressive when you see Darius Prince go out, catch 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 touchdowns. Like, if that game was 2 hours long, dude would have 50 touchdowns. Like, and him and Jake are at Metlock. They're not even on the same page yet. Like, they're just starting to find each other. And then Metlock is a crazy, crazy dude. Something wrong with him. Yeah. That touchdown at the end, quarterbacks are supposed to. So if you're the tackler, I'm supposed to do this. That crazy SOB did this and went for the hit, and then walked up to the owners in the end zone and went, "That was for you guys," and walked back and went and fired up the team. This is the beginning. Like, whenever people go, you don't want to jump on the bandwagon. You don't want to be part of a team that's already made it. You want to right now. Nobody knows who we are. Jump on board right now. Get on the bandwagon.
Just think it's funny. Like I said, going into the first week, they had Orlando beating us, and again, I get, you see the Orlando game. They started with the perfect storm, obviously, scoring a touchdown. We fumbled the kickoff. They scored again, kicked the deuce, being down 16-0. But just the resilience of our football team to come back and win that game is huge. We go into the second week, we're told that we're going to lose to Nashville. So we really should be an 0-2 franchise if we let all the geniuses out there give us their thoughts on what they think about football. But nobody's really watching the game, because if you watch the game, we dominated Nashville from start to finish, made a few mistakes, let them back in the game, but we dominated them from start to finish. And anybody that didn't see that, again, just isn't watching football with any football eye. And so it just kind of frustrated me. It just, as a coach, I just don't understand. You have to put us at the top of the rankings. You have to put us atop. We're here. We're ready to play. We don't care who comes here to our town. We're going to give you the great Capital Region hospitality, and that's how it is. And so, not that I care about what's said in the media and all those things, but at the end of the day, I do want my guys to be respected. We work very hard here in the Capital Region. We coach very hard. We have a great coaching staff. All of our coaches are working hard as ever. I'd like to see somebody that outworks us. I know that that's not happening out there. And so, again, show us a little bit of respect. Put us at the top where we belong. We'll see how the season shakes out, and let's see who's in the championship game.
If somebody hasn't put Coach Ware's face on Michael Jordan with the iPad, and I took that personally, if they haven't done that right now, then you guys, like, I don't know, you can't count yourself as fans, because and I took that personally. That was like, okay, is it what is great about arena football, or a curse of arena football? What happened to this game with a minute left in the first half? We're up 20-7, about to go in the half. It was less than a minute left, like 55, 56 seconds. The kicking game takes over, and a couple, like you said, mistakes are made, but also you got to take advantage of those mistakes, and, to give Nashville the credit they deserve. They go in the half up 21-20. Mm-hmm. Is that the beauty of arena football or the curse of it?
It's a beauty. There's many ways to score and get back into a game. Our game's a little bit more like basketball with all the ebbs and flows of the game, but again, we made some mistakes and we let them right back in. And we talked about that at halftime of, again, you just can never let a team hang around because there is so many ways to score. And so, but we, battened down the hatches, and we came out and did what we needed to do. Obviously they scored a few late in the second half, but ultimately we did everything that we needed to do to win the football game and show that we're a dominant football team. And I think coming in, I truly believe that Nashville thought they were better than us walking onto our field. And I can guarantee you from all the comments that I heard as they were walking off that they knew that was not the case by the end of the game.
Hell, one of our fans, a little kid, almost took a ball away from number 3. I mean, that was one of the weirdest things. So it's later in the game, kickoff. The ball goes to the stands before 3 for Nashville gets his hands on it. And this kid, who's probably, I found out later, it was his birthday.
Oh, okay. Looking for a birthday ball.
Right. That's I think he was, maybe 12, maybe. And I thought he was going to win the wrestle. I thought he was taking the ball. But ultimately, we were called for fan interference. We made sure the kid got a ball. Andy Gelcher got him a ball. Awesome. But there's that moment where 3 looks shook for Nashville. And I'm not saying this to cause problems or give bulletin board material. That's if you need a fat old man in Albany to give you bulletin board material, you probably shouldn't be playing. But like when you see a dude freaking out that bad, when all they really have to do is challenge to play, you kind of know that you're in at that point, right?
Yeah, like I said, it's just those couple things that kept him in the game. But ultimately, like I said, we dominated that game for 4 quarters. Did make some mistakes. We can still get a lot better. Our ceiling is still very high. Like I said, our defense is young. They're only getting better. They played a great game. Some of the turnovers were big in the red zone, stopping them on the 1-yard line and causing a turnover, having them down in the red zone on the other side of the field and getting the pick down inside the 5. Those are huge moments for our defense, and our defense is only getting better. And so, inviting Minnesota here on Monday is a great and perfect storm for us. Not to give them any bulletin board material, but they're obviously don't have the athletes of Nashville or Orlando. And again, we're going to give them the hospitality that we give everybody else. And welcome to the Capital Region.
Welcome to the Capital Region. Rossi, number 5 had a lot of pressure all night. Is this the best defense Albany fans will see, or just an off night?
Their defensive line was incredible. Number 11, number 5, and number 9. Those guys were excellent ball players. They got some pressure early. We had to dial in, make some adjustments. Those guys played a great game. I told all 3 of those guys, you guys are excellent ball players. And again, we hope to face you guys again, and we will down in Nashville, but they were excellent ball players. So I can't take anything away. Their defensive line was one of the best that we'll see this year for sure.
It's not officially a show until we welcome what should we call the associate producer, Nani Ware. Nani Ware, everyone. Hi guys. I love Nani. She's the best. I feel like if she's not watching, I didn't do a good job getting the show out. All right. So that's like with Nashville again. I see a couple more questions about that game, but I guess the biggest question for somebody watching, and you talk about the defensive line and everything like that, what do we get better at? What is the lesson we learned from that? And I was gonna say that to Hollis because I know the nicest guy on the planet. When that last minute of the first half's happening, maybe the smile turns for a second. Like I rarely see Hollis not smiling, but that during that where it's just like you can't even special teams are having this happening. Is that the moment where you lose your temper? How do we get better? Like what is the improvement you take from a 10-point win?
I mean, our whole coaching staff was fired up. Coach Hollis, yep, we gave up an easy touchdown to end the second quarter, and then we come out and fumble away a kickoff and they score. I mean, none of us can be happy about those moments. We've had a little bit of struggle in some of our kick returns, but we're fixing those things. And so our special teams units, again, just really our kickoff returns, really just we've got to fix a couple things. And we're working to get those things fixed. Like I said, our young defense is getting better and better. Obviously, offensively, we scored every possession that we've had in the regular periods, which is incredible. The only one we didn't score is in overtime of the Orlando game. So that in itself is incredible. But we still have such a high ceiling. Like you just said, Jake Medlock and Darius Prince have not been on the same page perfectly yet, and they're getting there. They talk every single day and work through those challenges. But we have, a whole 6 receivers that can light up the scoreboard. And so getting all those guys involved, it was nice to get Darian Townsend a touchdown in the game. So that's fun. Obviously, Phil Barnett's, was nursing an injury and will come back this week. So there's all kinds of things that we're going to get better at. And it's just a matter of just continuing to practice being together, continuing to get reps as a whole unit. And again, when you don't have any bye weeks, it's tough. And so we have to manage our practices in a way that keeps, our guys healthy and safe. And that's a challenge in itself. And so we know we need to be healthy at the end of the season. So whoever we need to hold back a little bit, through the course of these weeks, we'll do that just for the betterment of the team.
Jay Bernard wants to know, are we getting Barnett back this week? I know you said it, but might as well answer him directly.
So yeah, his prognosis is obviously that he could return to game action. So he is definitely being considered for the game coming up on Monday.
Before we move into the schedule, Tom Mooney, good friend of mine, Special Olympics champion, said, I was so excited to see you guys at regionals, and thank you for supporting all the athletes of the Special Olympics of New York.
We love being the community, and that's a huge thing for me. It's community or bust. We're not here just to play around and just play a game. We're here to be a part of this community, and we've done so many cool events. We love participating. That's our second event with Special Olympics. We'll be at any event you guys want us to be at. It gives us all a great joy. It gives our players just something to feel great about. Just a great experience. And it was, it probably would have been nicer if the weather would have been a little nicer and we could have been outside. But just to see all the excitement of everything and putting that event inside and ultimately watching some of these guys play basketball. I was super impressed with some of their skills on the basketball court. It was a really cool event, and I thank you for having us out there.
Absolutely. We love Special Olympics, and Mooney, you're my guy. When I met Mooney, he was a swimmer, so I started calling him the Shark. Now he's a power lifter. So I don't know. I was like, I don't know what to call him now. Whatever he wants.
As big as he is.
Yeah, Duke can deadlift a house. I can call him whatever he wants now. Now he gets to pick his own dang nickname. All right, so 2-0. We move forward. Once upon a time, we called this team a different name, but the myth. That's the team from Minnesota. We were supposed to go there. The Timberwolves are off to such a tear that we are now going to be hosting the myth. So Monday we host the myth at 6:30. What does that do to your team? Everybody's getting ready to get on planes, getting ready to kind of break loose a little bit, go see another arena, go be part of something else, and then the news comes through. Hey, not so fast. We're playing at home.
Obviously, it's great to get on an airplane, fly to a city that you've never been to. Go us against the world, go into an arena where everybody's cheering against us and ultimately pull out a victory. I mean, it's a great time. And that's, it's a hard thing to do, but it's a fun thing to do. And so obviously we were a little disappointed of not being able to get on the road, but can you complain when you get to wake up in your own beds and keep your schedule very, very clean and play another home game in front of our great fans? I couldn't ask for a better situation. If we're not going to go to Minnesota, I totally excited about just being here for our fans and giving them an extra bonus game. And so super excited to see how many people come out. The game time's early enough that you can still work the next day. So super excited. Get your tickets. Come on out. Support us. We're excited to give you a bonus game.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like what you dream of when you're running these teams, because the extra home game, the flock gets louder, everything. Again, 6:30 kickoff. I think that is phenomenal. I see Steve Flock Sport nodding feverishly. He's going to go to his day job, TransFinder, help everybody find the right trans route to get in to transportation. It's cool, and I'm excited for it. And I was I'm so used to the way things used to be, right? So if the second something didn't go right, we would hear about it from everyone, and I know that happens on the interwebs, but the fans, the flock, the people who fill the nest, they're thrilled. They're thrilled. I love it. Like, and again, it's an extra game. Why wouldn't they be? You'd think, but there's always again, for me, with what we dealt with in the past, I expected some kind of dust up, and the fans, the ones who matter, are just happy to have another game.
I mean, that's the thing, especially after last year. That little bit of chaos we went through, it brings people together, and so our fans are just happy that we're back, happy to fill the arenas. And that's the cool thing is we've really got a great fan base, and I absolutely love them. And if we can give them a bonus game, let's do it. I'm all for it.
I'm absolutely, I'm fine. And I don't, I'm done being nice. I hate Minnesota. There's probably snow on the ground right now. Like,
probably
Minnesota is one of the, I think they call it the Twin City because no one city could suck that bad. I think that's why. I was in Minnesota once, and I'm surprised I still have a pinky. It's so cold. They have a broiler on the top of every bus stop because it gets so cold. You have to hit that thing so you don't freeze to death waiting for a bus. I don't want to go to Minnesota. I don't want to go to the Target Center. I've never gone to Target and not spent too much money. I'm ready. I want to do this right here at MVP where we belong. And because of that, we're getting we're in with a 5-game stretch before we even have to leave the great state of New York, home of the War Room, where we're doing Flock University right now. I love it.
I love it too. And we'll take the extra home games. Obviously, we've got a great setup, a great field, a great production. So I don't think anybody is disappointed that we're playing here another game.
You said great production. You see our game day ops guy, Nick, yeah, you do. Yeah, you have a great production. I do a great job. Tell me more about me. I love it. What do we know about the myth? What do we know about this team?
And it's got an experienced head coach, obviously that's played the game. So their coaching staff is obviously astute in arena football. So, but again, they've got a young football team as well. So we'll match up in a nice game and we'll give them hell.
I love it. I am kind of looking through. Oh, look at Darian Townsend. Go Devil Dogs. Is that so? I have a Townsend story to tell you. So there was a brief moment where I left the capital region, and I went down. Thank you. I agree. And I went down to Columbus, and I believe it was Darian who I was a part of the team, and I go, "Hey man, what's going on?" He goes, "You're still the op to me," and he walked away. And I had to find out what op meant. I didn't I've never felt so old. I was sitting there, what did he you're the op Cedric? What does that mean? And so he's I was still the opposition, apparently, from all the crap I used to talk. Who's the op now, Darian? Who's the op now? Welcome home. Welcome. It's good to see. He is an amazing addition to the team. I love watching that dude play.
We've got a great football team from top to bottom. I don't even want to put it on one player. We have a great football team from the top of our roster to the bottom. It's we got a great group of guys this year.
He said we family now. It's amazing what some steak dinners will do to get the family back together. I did see something from Sean Lockett. Speaking of great team, great players, Sean Lockett, how do you get better? Be a gentleman.
Being a gentleman is important.
Can we do a photo shoot with the guys on like 3-piece suits, like a gentleman's photo shoot? I think it needs to
We
happen.
certainly can.
I don't know if it's accurate, but I'm excited for it one way or the other. All right, so as we get ready for the myth to come to town, do you want to do it? Do you want to just get into it? You want to have some fun? You want to?
Hey, let's get into it.
All right, so because the schedule changed, this one for a good reason, everyone freaked out, right? So you got the Minnesota Timberwolves taking over the Target Center in Minnesota. The Minnesota Myth lose their night to play. Our ownership, Coach Ware, their ownership, they all get together. They have a conversation. They rectify it. Easy peasy. Coming to MVP Arena, playing a Monday Night Football game, which that's great. That's the way it should be. I've read posts online that made me think that Minnesota Myth were chased out of the state, that they were not allowed to watch a Vikings game. Like it was like everything was wrong. No, it was just scheduling. So let's have some fun with rumors, gossip, and lies. The social media that is revolving around this league and some of the things in this league. You have been the ultimate professional coach. You have bit your tongue about 1,000,001 things. What do you want to do? What do you want to talk about?
I said, I've always thought since the beginning of this adventure, there was so much madness on social media. And I've never seen such hate. And I get it. When you bring back an iconic brand, when you bring back higher salaries and things like that, I get it. I get it that there's people going to be interested in the product and have various degrees of things to say. Um, ultimately, there's still jobs on the line. There's players, building value for themselves to move on. There's all these factors that play into a season. So the one thing, for at least for me, I'm never going to do is root for somebody's downfall, because I don't want anybody rooting for my downfall. So that's the first thing. Is I've never seen so many grown people that want to see the downfall of something. And football's a perfect storm. I tell things all the time. It's everything that we do is on film and on camera, and there's so many people that are out there talking. I just wish I could take a camera crew and just follow them around their job all day long and critique what they're doing. Damn, you're taking another water break? Jesus Christ. Another bathroom break? What do you got, a baby bladder? I think if I had...
You're going to wash your hands after you get that finger out that nose? What are we doing here?
I mean,
Why'd you look all guilty?
but thank you if that was able to happen. And I think sometimes people get just too overzealous in talking about things because it's visible. And so, like I said, just think for a second quickly, if you had a camera around you 24/7, filming everything that you did, and people were outwardly in the middle of social media with millions of eyes on it, talking about what you did during your day. I get it. And that's what sports is. And that's part of being in the entertainment business, is people are going to do that. I just don't understand the hate of things, and it is bothersome. As again, we have a great franchise, we have great ownership, we've got everything we do is of high class, and so to see people putting our name into stuff and all these things, and it's frustrating. We do get a lot of compliments, but it's just frustrating to see all that. My opinion: did we start with too big of a league? Yeah. That's the moving parts of 16 teams playing from one side of the country to the other. That's a bit much. Most of the other leagues started regional. They started in an area and they started to work themselves out of that area. So again, do I think that it was a bit much going 16 teams right out the gate from one side of the country to the other? Yes, I do. Anytime there's a new venture, there's going to be failings. And if you've ever been part of a startup or started your own company, you understand the challenges of a first-year organization. There's going to be ebbs and flows, the ups and downs. And so, again, we should expect these things, but not every little thing. It's got to be magnified 100 times and put all over social media and made negative. And so yes, is there some failings by the league? Obviously there is. And the reason it's all over social media is there are some failings. Now, I've said it from the beginning. People have called me since the offseason and asked me all these questions. Did I think this was going to happen and that was going to happen? And was this going to be good or bad and indifferent? And all I've ever said is, The initials of a league don't make the league. The ownership groups of a league that make a league able to compete or not. And so again, you could put, XYZ in front of our league, and now it's up to our owners and our teams to be able to fulfill those obligations of that contract. So, is there enough teams in this league that are going to finish the season and finish it well? Absolutely. Are there some teams that should not have come into this business? Absolutely. There are some teams that were underfunded and thought that things were going to be a little different. It was going to be easy money, and we were all going to walk and skip down the street with rainbows and pots of gold at the end of it.
Right.
It just doesn't work. This is a tough business. Our group works so hard. And so if you don't have that kind of infrastructure, if you don't have that kind of bank account, there's all these things that tie into it. Now, where we are now, are we going to complete the season? 1,000%. Is there a possibility of a couple teams having to reduce themselves from out of the league? Absolutely.
Right.
And guess what? I really don't care. At the end of the day, as long as all of my home dates are played, all of my away dates are played, at the end of the season, I played my 10-game schedule, I could care less. And that's just being God's honest truth. I don't care. Line up whoever wants to come to the Capital Region and whoever wants to host us, and we're fine. So all of is the league going to fold? Is this, is that? We're not going anywhere. We have been on calls with a majority of the league and figured out who is financially stable, who is ready to do the things that we need to do. And our owners are working hard as heck to make sure that we're with the right group of people to finish the 2024 season and then regroup and figure out what needs to happen in the future to make this league bigger, better, and greater. And that's where we're at. It's that simple.
I love it. And look, the bottom line is, it's like I've always said this. Actually, probably one of the reasons I've never been the most popular people in the league meetings. We didn't build the Albany franchise to be league dependent. We didn't build it to be dependent on anything other than the fans of the Capital Region. That's all it's dependent upon. So, yes, do we like the vision? Do we like the plan that was originally set forth? Did we think it was a little aggressive? Sure. Do we like it? Do we like that they want to be special? They want to pay the players more. They want to play real arena football rules. We love all of that. No offense to anyone. The league goes away tomorrow, I'll go find another league, and that's what we would do. And heck, we've made a lot of friends in this league, in the league before. We would be able to fill our dance card pretty quickly. I don't think we would have much of a problem with it. Again, that's probably why I've never been invited to a lot of league meetings. But that's it. Always Albany. That's what it's always been. Always Albany. Some comments that have come through that I enjoyed. I saw Rossi say, like, the people making these rumors are in their mom's basement, and then instantly was, you think Hutton's wife can get a hold of him? So we don't know. I never talked to Commissioner Hutton. I think I talked to Commissioner Hutton twice. That was it. That's all I've
talked to him a few times.
I
actually talked to him before the Nashville game.
Yeah.
Since we were still deciding on what the rules of the game were going to be. I've never had that kind of conversation in a pregame meeting before, but ultimately we were able to figure it out and figure out a way to get through the game, and we did that. But so yeah, I just talked to him recently, actually.
But realistically, you only need your point about the ownership. You really only need the commissioner if the owners can't get along. It's really the only time you need them. So I don't know him any more or less than anyone else, but he every time I've spoken to him, I haven't hated the conversation. I'm just looking at some of the questions because we are seeing the soul is folding. Rumor is soul's folding. Rumor is. Don't know. I don't know.
Like I said, do I think there's a few teams that are going to be reduced? I absolutely do. Would I consider Philadelphia to be one of those teams? I certainly do. And it's just how things have gone for them. They had a very expensive venue that probably didn't want them to play in that venue. And that started their season out. It made them change ownership groups and all these things. They've been through a bunch of challenges. Is it probably smart to take some time to regroup yourself and figure out for the future? Absolutely. Is that one I could see that would reduce? Absolutely.
Well, and to your point about the league, like you take the letters, you put it on a league. It doesn't make it what it once was. The dream was always to grow it bigger. I used to people in the Capital Region might remember this. I used to be on a rock station called The Edge, and it was awesome. Like you actually think you would dig it. You probably listen to it in the gym. We were aggressive rock, we were active rock. It was fun. So we go out, we get rid of it because of Howard Stern leaving. Some other station signs on as The Edge, and like they sucked. No offense to them, but they just weren't good. I guess that was offense to him. You know what? Offense to you. You sucked. I used to tell people it was if Aquaman put an S on his chest, he ain't Superman. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So it's like you got to earn it. You got to work your way up. So regardless of what the name of the soul or the league is, we'll work with everybody we can. We'll help everybody we can until we see them on the field, and then we'll beat them bad. That's
but anybody that had those expectations, that pulling those letters out of the doldrum, and in year number 1, we're going to recreate everything that a 30-year history had. I don't know. You're kind of unrealistic, and that just wild to me. You know, like I said, I can go buy a 30-year-old house, and I know it's not going to be in the condition it was 30 years ago.
Right. Just because it's called a mansion doesn't mean it's ready to be a mansion.
And exactly. And so I have to do all the things to rehab said property to get it to the point where it looks like it did in its former glory. For this, it's going to take time. And I was not expecting this to be the AFL old over a course of 1 season. I'm thinking 3 to 5. Yeah. You know, and so I guess maybe I'm just more realistic about it, but there's no way I thought this was going to be the heyday of the AFL in year number 1. It just made no sense to me, but I get it. Everybody has these lofty expectations, and I just, you know, on social media, just everybody has these crazy lofty opinions and thoughts, and it's just, you know, makes me want to see some other people's lives, though. And I'd like to see what your bank account looks like. I'd like to see what kind of house you own. I'd like to see what your honey-do list is over the course of the weekend. I'd like to see a lot of those things, because I'll bet you I'd be pretty shocked at what I saw on a lot of people's stuff. And so for me, it's you know, pump your brakes a little bit. Let's take it one step at a time. But Albany, we're in no trouble of having any problems. It is we will be here to stay for many years to come. I love this organization, and we're here to stay. That's all I can say.
It is Flock University live from the War Room in downtown Albany over on Eagle Street, having an absolute blast. Of course, you can listen to Flock University every Saturday morning, 9 a.m. on Fox Sports Radio 95.9 and 980. Denise, Coach Ware is on fire tonight. We like this side. I gotta be honest with you. He's still keeping it together. He's pretty professional. Like, you're a composed individual. I appreciate it, respect it. I saw it, like, some people are concerned because they see questions about Minnesota. They see questions about Philadelphia. And they look at the schedule and they go, wait a minute, I'm supposed to be watching those guys soon. Right. Is it wrong for you clean up what I'm about to say? Our ownership is opportunistic. So every time you see something wrong and a weakness, they see an opportunity to grow bigger and get what we want.
1,000%.
So in the event that any of those games don't happen, there will be games, and there'll probably be better games. And he's going to have to work even harder to beat whatever shows up.
1,000% true. Line them up. Our coaching staff will get to work on it, and let's have a great event here in the Capital Region.
This is what I love. See, Paul, you see, like, you guys, like, Paul's people just nervous because we love our Firebirds. Keep loving your Firebirds. We ain't going nowhere. Like, even, like, no matter what happens this year, like, it's the coolest thing in the world. I saw somebody wrote it. It's something I don't know if I said it on here or if I've just said it publicly, vernacular. Said AB free since 2023. And I know we said we weren't going to say that name and all this other stuff. But, like, a year ago, we were the laughingstock of indoor arena football because of what one person was doing. You had to go to Orlando. Hollis, Prince, Haig, Cisse had to go to Orlando just to have a chance to show how hard you work instead of being here. It sucked. It was terrible. It was something, like, even though I've got a million excuses, I hold myself accountable for. I was in the room when the decision was made. I was asked if I thought it was a good decision, and I said yes. I had a caveat, but I did. So like I look at that, and now I look at this, and I go, a year ago, the Albany franchise almost killed a league. That league is still alive. It's not as good because Albany's not in it, but it's still alive. And now people are looking around going, thank God Albany's there to keep that league alive. Well, good. Let's do it. Like I feel like I owe everybody one. I'll help keep the league alive. I'll do what I had to do. I think it's as long as you guys realize that it's about you, and if you're Coach Ware finds the greatest players, whether they're veterans, whether they're when Hollis came here, I was like, dude, I watched that guy defend people in Philly, and then I see the relationship he had with Darius Prince in real life, and I'm like, oh my God, I loved Darius and what he did on the field and what he was as a man. Now I want to hang out with the two of them. Like, these are special people who don't have to go somewhere they don't want to go. And then you go find these younger guys. You find the Darian Townsends who were down in Columbus for a long time and move here and everything. Sean Lockett, the gentleman himself. These guys are here because of Coach Ware and because of you. If you keep coming, they'll keep coming, and we'll keep having a team that's going to beat the living daylights out of anybody, no matter what three letters are out in front of them.
I mean, that's like I said. I think that's the whole point here is we are not going anywhere, and we will take on whatever adversity, whatever challenges are in front of us, and we'll make it right. And but it is funny though when you talk about just last year's challenges to now. I mean, it's just a small blip on the radar. I mean, we've got through that challenge pretty easily, and just a wild situation. But we're back, and we're back to where we need to be. We're back, with the franchise that we've always been, and so, and we've rebranded with a great, again, marks and things, and it's just a fun time. And so I just want to make sure everybody knows we're not in jeopardy of any madness. Is there a few teams that might fall by the wayside? Yes, that will not change anything. It won't change our home dates. It won't change anything about our franchise. We're going to be here for you, and this is a long-term venture. Our owners are awesome. They're all here local, long time. So that's the one thing you do not have to worry about.
Adam, will we be able to watch any games? Because the league office bleeped that up too. Listen, we had a conversation today. I have a backup plan. I'm not scared. Again, we have the best production team in all of arena sports, in my opinion. So we're good. We're going to be good. We'll let you know where each game's going to be. But more and more, they're going to be at the MVP arena. Might as well just get yourself a ticket and just be a part of it.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna do this one backwards. So Steve just posted, people want to know about our balls. Rick asked, I saw some posts on different groups questioning the balls that we have been using. Anything you can advise on that, Coach?
Sure.
How are your balls?
They're good. But yeah, the ball situation. Goes all the way back to
Sorry, Nani.
to our press conference back in November in New York City. We were down there. We seen the ball. We took a look at it, and we were really like, this really isn't the game ball. This is just a prop. We were cool. And then again, the ball went into production. We had zero idea what the ball was going to look like, how it was built. What we really had zero idea.
Not either good, like he said. Love her.
So we get the balls, take them to practice because they got here just after training camp began. We put them into use, and I've never seen a kicker so disappointed in a ball. It was I mean, he almost had tears in his eyes.
Well, and remember, 2 years ago we had a
double bladder ball in the NAL.
We had double bladder balls. Try saying that 5 times fast, and that made it hard to kick the dude.
Made it hard, exactly. And so
this kick ball, our balls anywhere.
This ball is just an interesting ball. It's not of. I hate to say it. It's not the highest of quality ball.
It's not a professional sports ball.
And so it is tough to throw far. It's tough to kick far. In our game, the Arena Football League, we have nets around the field.
Right.
If the ball cannot reach the kicker's foot to the net, then a whole lot of people spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on nets that couldn't be used.
Unexciting balls.
So that's where the adventure started. So our quarterbacks, the balls are slippery.
I mean, we don't even have to tell you the problem with that. I mean,
there's a lot of let's just say there's a lot of challenges with the footballs in the AFL. So
that moment, Coach Ware goes, "I'm gonna say football because the guy's a jerk."
We're taking this a whole other direction. However, for us, we wanted a solution. We're about making solutions. So got with our ownership group, said, "Hey, here's the challenges with the footballs. Is there anything we can do?" So we said, let's get the commissioner on the line. Let's talk this through. It makes no sense to have a ball that you can't kick up against the nets. It makes
that takes half the fun of the game.
Right. So again, we got with them. Obviously Wilson is our sponsor. We found a ball that is made by Wilson that would fit the build of a ball that's kickable against the net and throwable for our quarterbacks. We put it into motion. We used it as a trial version a couple days at practice. It went over very well. We got with the league office. We got a special exemption to use it because it fit all the bills. It was a Wilson ball. It was
a pro level ball.
Right. We offered it to the other team. So that was really the only thing is we had to get with Nashville and say, hey, here's the balls that we have. Yes, they're a little bit different.
What do you think of our balls?
Pretty much, but
and they had issues with our balls at first.
And at first they didn't want to do it, and we would have played with the other ball, but ultimately their quarterbacks threw the ball, their kickers kicked the ball, and ultimately they said it is a better football to play a professional game, and ultimately we played with that ball. So we will continue as long as we have support from both teams that want to play here. If we want to use the better ball, it's available. If not, we're fine playing with the other ball as well. It's not, it's not for any advantage. It's not like we took advantage of the situation. We got a special exemption. We got it. We offered it to the other team. Ultimately, they said yes, and off we went. So that's how the balls came to fruition, and we were excited about it. It made the game a little bit more exciting. There was, both kickers had a wonderful game that they probably would not have had otherwise, and so that's why we did what we did with the footballs.
My favorite part of the whole thing was one of our owners, Mike Corda. Which ball do you like? You want to grab this ball? You want to grab that ball? You like ball? Which ball? These ain't cheap balls. I'm going to get these balls. You got to take good care of them. And I was like, thanks, Mike. Appreciate the ball talk.
A lot of balls being discussed.
Yes. Steve, DJ Romantic better play big balls by ACTC this weekend. It's Nani just told me to knock it off. Well, I mean, in all sincerity though, like we walked into a situation where it wasn't a professional product. I don't know if you guys have ever experienced this, but I've never seen a barcode on professional balls before. Like that's something like for throwing on a yard. So I think the league thought it was a good looking product, didn't realize it was going to actually hinder the play. So we did what we could to fix that. And here we are. I love that. We just had we just literally for the first time in like weeks, we had fun just joking about balls. Here's Zachary Cooper. What teams are folding? Zachary, would you just join the balls conversation? Come on, have a moment. We have in Albany, we have pride in our footballs, our balls, our war room. We love the war room. We love a lot of things about Albany, the MVP arena. Jeez, calm down about folding, okay? How dare you?
But Zach, to answer your question, those things will get worked. Those things will get worked out. Is there a bunch of teams that are going to fold? No. Is there a need of maybe reducing the amount of teams we have in the league? I would say yes. So, like I said, those things will get announced in the future. The ownerships of all the teams are working through that feverishly to figure out exactly what is the best option for the teams to finish the 2024 season. We will ultimately have that coming out soon, and ultimately we're going to play the season and we're going to crown a champion. And that's all we're worried about at this moment.
I just had like this vision, right? So we get to a point where Albany's playing for the championship, as we do. And somehow, some way, Mike Quarta, Andy Gelcher, and Richie Cesar, our local ownership, get saying how to make the trophy. That thing's gonna be 50 feet freaking tall. It will be the largest trophy. Like we'll have to have like Richie's like forklift driving around town to show it off.
Hey, I'm all for it.
They're competing for their balls. That's all there is. All right. Listen, now Rick's all in. Rick's loving the balls. He's like, now he's just quoting AC/DC, and the balls are always bouncing. Does anybody here have questions from the flock that don't? No ball questions, please. We've covered the balls, literally and figuratively. What, Zach? What do you want to know about the balls? He's good. Okay. All right. All right. We said I put up there, Coach. We love our balls. So, all right. That is Flock University. I've never seen them so quiet.
I know.
All it took was about 7-8 minutes on professional ball handling, and they just got real quiet on us. All right, that is Flock University for today. It's been, Coach, I appreciate it, man. You got in. You told everybody what they needed to know. You didn't pull any punches. You got right after it. Oh, now Zachary's on board. Love those balls. All right, let's go, Zach.
Appreciate you, Zach.
I will actually let me do Nick from Game Day Ops a favor. So the one thing you will, if you do get one of our expensive balls, they're very expensive. They're very professional. We don't have a lot of them. If you do happen to catch one, we will replace it with an official AFL game ball. So you can. It's, trust me, they're not that slippery. You'll be able to hold on to it to leave the building. But I just want you to know that. So you'll have a piece of history in your hand. For just so Darius knows, I went and bought silver Sharpies so he can autograph them.
Sweet.
So I'm covering bases. Okay. So you'll have a silver motif on your new ball if you get it. Is there anything we missed?
Other than the War Room seems to be serving up some wonderful looking food.
Oh my God. That's all right. Yeah. All right. So here's the deal. He is the professor, the head coach, the general manager, Damon Ware. Just off camera, they are the two best friends that anyone could have. Dwayne Hollis and Darius Prince, everyone. Speaking of balls, Steve from Flock Support is here. Yeah, Steve, let's go. And then our game day guys are back there hanging out, hiding. That's it. We appreciate you guys. I am the team president, the scourge of the AFL, Jeff Levack. That's right. Don't forget it. Thanks to our friends over at Fox Sports Radio 95.9 and 984, airing Flock University. Thanks to the War Room. Great place, great people. We're having a blast, and now we're going to eat all the food. But you know that we cannot end an episode of Flock University without those two wonderful words. 1, 2, 3. Flock you.